With 17 NBA championship banners and one NBA Cup title in their rafters, the Los Angeles Lakers are one of the most decorated franchises in NBA history, even going back to their days in Minneapolis. Throughout the years, the franchise has been successful in luring in some of the biggest stars. With a surplus of superstardom, it's easy to see why championship expectations are always high. Couple that with the franchise's enormous market, it's easy to see why eyes are often on the Lakers. Here are the 10 best Lakers duos in franchise history ranked. Check out the gallery. 10. LeBron James and Luka Doncic. The verdict is still out for the duo of LeBron James and Luka Doncic. The team-up of James and Doncic is already one of the best, at least on paper. In fact, it was easy to see why the Lakers threw the world into a frenzy when they successfully brought Doncic to Los Angeles. He is another generational talent who will lead the purple and gold for now and the future. Both superstars may have failed to go deep into the postseason this year, but with their superstardom, a championship is always within reach. 9. Cedric Ceballos and Nick Van Exel. After the era of the Showtime Lakers, the purple and gold weren't exactly championship contenders. However, what kept the team competitive was the duo of all-stars Cedric Ceballos and Nick Van Exel. Although this duo hardly reeled in playoff success, they did inject plenty of excitement and kept the Lakers afloat when the expectations were quite low. 8. Jerry West and Elgin Baylor. It's a shame that injuries started to linger in Elgin Baylor's decorated NBA career. In fact, not only did injuries end Baylor's career, but it pretty much denied him an NBA title. Nonetheless, both Jerry West and Elgin Baylor were franchise superstars for the purple and gold. The dominant duo was effective enough to take the franchise to multiple finals appearances. Unfortunately, the duo was never able to win a chip together. 7. Kobe Bryant and Lamar Odom. When Shaquille O'Neal left for the Miami Heat, the Lakers were forced to settle for the duo of Kobe Bryant and Lamar Odom. It wasn't the most powerful duo on paper, but the lack of supporting cast surrounding them pretty much allowed Bryant to transform into an NBA MVP. While there wasn't much team success, the Black Mamba did drop 81 points and win an NBA MVP. And on the bright side, the duo remained intact long enough to win 2 NBA titles after Pau Gasol's arrival. 6. LeBron James and Anthony Davis. LeBron James and Anthony Davis were crucial in bringing in the franchise's 17th championship banner. While there were plenty of doubts, both James and Davis carried the purple and gold inside the 2020 NBA bubble to win a championship, ending a decade-long drought. Furthermore, the duo added more hardware when they led Los Angeles to an NBA Cup title. 5. Jerry West and Wilt Chamberlain. The arrival of Wilt Chamberlain in Los Angeles marked another spectacular superstar moment to a franchise that's already been graced by plenty of superstars. Furthermore, relatively fresh from an MVP season, his addition was the missing piece to Jerry West's title pursuit. West and Chamberlain led the Lakers to a 69-win season before finally ending the championship jinx. 4. Kobe Bryant and Pau Gasol. Life after Shaquille O'Neal was a test of patience for Kobe Bryant and the purple and gold. However, the arrival of Pau Gasol finally brought a glimmer of hope. The Spanish big man perfectly fitted alongside Bryant, leading to 3 straight finals appearances and back-to-back NBA championships. 3. George Mikan and Jim Pollard. The Minneapolis Lakers were the first ever dynasty in NBA history. Thanks to the dominance of Georgie Mikan to go along with the support of Jim Pollard, the Lakers captured 5 NBA championships. Back in the day, Mikan was nearly an unstoppable force in the paint, laying down the foundation of a decorated franchise. 2. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Magic Johnson. The Showtime era was one of the brightest moments in Lakers history. A huge part of that was thanks to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Magic Johnson. The duo brought home 5 NBA titles together, pretty much dominating the league in the 80s. During that run, Johnson basically wasted no time, becoming the first ever NBA Rookie of the Year winner to be crowned Finals MVP in the same year. On the other hand, Kareem would also make history of his own by becoming the league's all-time leading scorer at one point. 1. Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant. The most dominant duo not only in Lakers history but also in NBA history was Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant. Shaq was an unstoppable force down low, while Bryant was the perfect second-fiddle scorer that allowed the Lakers to get away with their relatively shallow roster. In fact, their dominance took Los Angeles to a three-peat, the first since Michael Jordan's Chicago Bulls. Since then, no team has ever replicated their feat. Los Angeles Lakers star guard Luka Doncic recently signed a massive contract extension with the team, agreeing to a 3-year, $165 million deal. The move keeps Doncic in Los Angeles for multiple years to come, and there's a chance that he could spend the rest of his career in LA after the Lakers acquired him in a trade with the Dallas Mavericks prior to the trade deadline in the 2024-25 season. While Doncic's extension means that he won't be a player for teams to target in free agency next offseason, Doncic originally had a player option for the 2026-27 season. It appears that hasn't impacted the future plans for the Miami Heat. Luka in 2026 was never a plan or the plan, 5 Reasons Sports' Greg Sylvander wrote via Discord. The Heat made an upgrade to their roster this offseason, acquiring guard Norman Powell in a trade with the Los Angeles Clippers. An elite three-point shooter, Powell should help improve Miami's offense in the 2025-26 season. In the 2024-25 season, Powell averaged a career-high 21.8 points per game, while shooting 48.4% from the field and 41.8% from three-point range. He also won a title earlier in his career with the Toronto Raptors, so he'll bring some serious playoff experience to Miami. In addition, Powell has been in the mix for the NBA's 6th Man of the Year award in recent seasons, finishing 4th in the voting in the 2023-24 season and 2022-23 campaign. Even though Doncic would have been a franchise-altering talent to bring to Miami, it appears that the Heat have a different plan in mind to get back into contention in the Eastern Conference. Miami traded away Jimmy Butler during the 2024-25 season, putting the team in an interesting position going forward. While Miami has proven pieces in Bam Adebayo and Tyler Herro, it also has a lot of young talent that it needs to develop if it wants to be one of the best teams in the East. As for Doncic, he's looking to get back to the NBA Finals for the second time in his career when the 2025-26 season kicks off later this year. Doncic made the finals with the Mavericks in the 2023-24 season, but the Lakers were knocked out in the first round of the playoffs with the star guard in the 2024-25 season. The Los Angeles Lakers don't seem overly keen on trading LeBron James this offseason, but they could eventually find that it's better to get something for him now before he leaves in free agency next offseason. He would likely have far more suitors if he weren't making over $50 million this season, but he's still a high-level player. If James gets traded somewhere, he's going to want to go somewhere he can contend. While the San Antonio Spurs have been one of the worst teams in the NBA for several seasons now, they are headed in the right direction with Victor Wembanyama already being a true star. The missing piece for them could be a proven veteran like James. Andy Bailey of Bleacher Report pitched a trade that would send Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, a 2031 first-round pick swap with the Sacramento Kings that San Antonio acquired in the DeMar DeRozan trade, and a 2032 first-round pick swap for LeBron and Bronny James. With the right roster around him as a centerpiece, San Antonio could realistically contend, Bailey wrote. And while this move could hamper the team's depth, replacing 2 role players with one of the greatest defensive engines of all time would nudge the Spurs closer to the right roster. This is a supercharged and supersized version of what San Antonio just did with Chris Paul. LeBron would make Wemby's life significantly easier on the offensive end, set him up for plenty of wide-open looks, and attract more defensive attention than any of his current teammates. Why would Lakers make this trade? Vassell and Johnson are both good, young players, but neither is going to have the kind of impact this season that James would. However, the Lakers might rather start focusing on the future and building around Luka Doncic now. Bailey explained why it could be a worthwhile trade for the Lakers. Devin Vassell, alongside a playmaker as good as Doncic, would instantly become one of the more dynamic catch-and-shoot threats in the NBA, Bailey wrote. He's hit an above-average 37.4% of his three-point attempts over the last 3 seasons, but that number is dragged way down by a high volume of off-the-bounce looks. With Luka, there would be more open triples off the catch. Keldon Johnson's efficiency from the outside would also have a good chance of creeping up, and he brings the added benefit of some potential slashing and playmaking chops. He averaged 2.9 assists in 2022-23. James has no trade clause. One problem the Lakers could face with any potential James trade is that he has a no-trade clause in his contract. That means he has the right to veto any trade that he doesn't like. The Spurs might not be the most appealing destination for him. San Antonio isn't a very glamorous city, and he'd have to be betting that Wembanyama is going to take another leap and stay healthy. James has no trade clause. One problem the Lakers could face with any potential James trade is that he has a no-trade clause in his contract. That means he has the right to veto any trade that he doesn't like. The Spurs might not be the most appealing destination for him. San Antonio isn't a very glamorous city, and he'd have to be betting that Wembanyama is going to take another leap and stay healthy.